Hey you guys, welcome back to another episode with your host, me, WinterTooth100, and today we're going to be in the world of winter as always. And you can see Starlight is already talking to me. It only takes me half a second being on the server to get all the peeps talking to me, which is fantastic. I love seeing all the peeps on the server. And we are here in the special project area where we'll be building the Link to the Past map, and we're getting very close. You can see we're virtually in this super flat world. We're going to have to come through and knock out things like these flowers and all this spare grass that we don't actually want in here. And well, we're down to this last little section, it looks like. I logged out last night and we were with this beacon. Relative to that beacon, we still had a bunch of stuff right here, and that's where I logged out at. Oh, and it looks like somebody has thrown a bunch of stuff onto the ground here, not even keeping it anymore. I mean, just look at this place from the sky. We got the replay mod on, and so you guys can get some nice swooping aerial viewitudes. We are seriously down to just this last little section. Once this is cleared out, which should be done by the time we jump to the next clip, we can actually start in on, well, building stuff. The episodes can actually contain some things in them. So I'm going to shoot out a message real quick because today's also a stream day. I'm going to shoot out a message real quick and let everyone know not to cut down this last little chunk so I can work on this during the stream. So I have something to do during the stream. But oh boy, I'm gonna cut forward. I'm going to do a live stream. We're going to cut this down. There is a link in the description down below for you guys if you want to join me over on Mixer, where we do live streams on Thursdays and Fridays. And then I'll be right back with you guys. Now we're going to have to start doing some maths and find the exact center to this place so we can mark out the exact length that this place needs to be for the inside where the player could walk. And of course, while that pesky bear is off clearing out that area, I have heard word that I have won here at the auction house. Let's see. Winter pays by the 10th. So I have plenty, or the 5th. Nope. I read that wrong. I forgot that they're foreign and they do the months and the days backwards from the Americans. So I read that wrong. I actually have until tomorrow to collect this. How much was it? Bidding ends, prize item. How much did I bet? Aha, there it is, 16. I bet 16. So we need 16 good old diamonds. And I think we'll be fine, right? I think we have plenty. And we actually won something for once. Congratulations, me, WinterTooth100. So I'm just going to do the old swappy swap. And now guys, if I take these off, look at this. I have an adorable teddy bear. That's right, this polar bear has a teddy bear. But now, I'm sure, by now, surely, I have finished all of the work in the Legend of Zelda project area. So let's get over there and let's start working out the maths of where the things are supposed to go. Quick side note, the Enchanted Bookstore, which is on the other side of Bella's fantastic shop here, has been making a killing. Almost 2 stacks of diamonds from that place. Absolutely insane. However, though, the rocket shop surprisingly has not been selling very much. I'm going to assume that's because peeps in the north are not supposed to be using elytra, so they're not burning through them. I'm going to guess that's why we haven't been selling any rockets. But there is a rocket shop here. This is Bella's wonderful potion shop or race shop. You can get the powers of the different races. And of course the slime shop right there. But I figured I'd throw this into the video really quick just to remind everyone that there are some active shops here in the shopping district, and you can get your hands on some really nice things. Also, if you want to sell something, there's lots of plots left here. Lots of places you can pick a place and build a building and sell some stuff. Or you can pick a plot, build a building, and you can live there. That's right, you can live here in this shopping district. That'd be pretty cool. If you would have told me at the beginning of this project that I was crazy for wanting to flatten all of this out, I would have laughed at you. I definitely would have laughed at you, because this is technically, area-wise, this is smaller than some of the projects I've done in the past. But this is the 6th day that we've been working on this, and it is finally officially flattened out. I had to move all of the materials out here, and you can see that these things are insane. We have so many resources. Pretty much, if there's an item frame with an item on it, that box is full. It is full of that item. Of course, there's minor exceptions, like you get to the last box of it. It's not quite full, because obviously we would have went to the next box. So, you know, with that tiny little caveat, you can see just how many materials we have. All the diorite, all the andesite, all the granite, all of the cobblestone, and particularly stone. And of course, the dirt and gravel together, we're going to end up converting those over. Probably all of the gravel. I can't imagine using any of the gravel for anything. And getting us the coarse dirt, because the coarse dirt paths are so fantastic. But holy moly, this is insane. I mean, you can max throw an ender pearl and you're not even halfway through this thing. This place is so big that it doesn't want to render out to the max distance. Look at that, you can still even see. Oh look, barely rendered in. Yeah, you can very subtly see some of the areas, but it's actually time to really get to work here now that we have this big area. And the very first thing I want to do, I want to see if we can get a map of this place. And there is a chance that this thing is cornered up on 4 sections of maps, in which case we can't get a perfect map. But if we can get a perfect map, yes. Oh, that's interesting. That little thing on there, the little marker. Yes. You know what this means, right? We get a whole bunch of these. We get a whole. Can I just copy these? Is that how this works? I can just. Oh no, it just turns into 2. So would it be easier for me to just go just like that? I think so. Because you know what we're gonna do with these, right? We are going to make us a green screen. Now let's just flip right on over real quick, and you'll see what a green screen's for. Oh man, there's so much to dig out here. If only I had some help. Oh, are you gonna help me? No, I'm certainly not going to be helping you dig that out. But there's not a lot. We could work on this together. I'm just gonna leave now. Oh, okay. I guess I'll just dig this out myself. Now that's what I'm talking about. We could definitely use this thing, and yes, this is what it looks like. We could definitely use this thing to do some fun stuff. I mean, if we come in here, oh my goodness, look at this. It's super disorienting, but you hit the F5 screen and we're left with this. If I hit this button, I just snap my fingers. And I snap my fingers again. And we keep changing where we're at. How crazy is that? I love this green screen thing. It's so weird. It's so weird, but I love it so much. Moving right along from the green screen magic, we now return to A Link to the Past little map that we're going to be building. And we need to find the exact center so we can find the exact border on this. So if you guys caught the last episode, I believe is when I explained it, we actually did 280 blocks by 280 blocks, but I believe the map is actually literally 256 blocks by 256 blocks. So we need to go to that very far end, and we're going to count 140 blocks in. So 140 and 141 will be the exact center. This map is actually centered on a 2-block center, which is strange. It's going to be, but that's just the way the map is. So we need to find the exact center and run it out, and then we need to do the same thing on the other side, is find the 140th and 141st and bring them in. So we can actually just find the 140th on both, and we'll know that the 2x2 will be the center. So I need to find the exact center, and then based on the exact center, we can extrapolate where the 256 block length is going to be, which I believe is going to be about 10 to 15 blocks inward from this wall. So at the end of the day, where this cobblestone line is and where the next cobblestone line is that we're going to be creating will actually become the outer barrier on all corners, keeping technically was what would keep Link in the map. Of course, we will have our own ways out of here because we don't want to trap players in here. Considering this is not going to be a functional map, it's just going to be one that you can come through and explore and get to enjoy. But again, not one that is actually functional. There won't be working dungeons or anything like that. But I gotta find the exact center really, really fast. I am so smart. I can't believe I didn't think of this before, but I am currently in the process of putting in the very last line here of basically dividing this whole section into grids. And if we use the replay mod, we'll take a very quick look around. You'll see we have this amazing grid pattern laid out. It's looking fantastic. I'm very excited about it. And if we pop back into my vision real quick, you'll see that we basically have these stone bricks in squares essentially. And if we take the innermost block of each one of these and the line associated with it, it is 32 blocks by 32 blocks, and this whole map has been divided into 64 blocks that are 32 by 32s. If we do that and we compare it to a Link to the Past map, we can actually find exactly which grids have what stuff in them. This particular square right here is Link's house. And if we go up to this square up here, this one, this is the, let's see, bottom right. Yes, bottom right. We'll write this in. Bottom right of the castle. Using this, we know that this over here is the bottom left, and then we got the top left and the top right. So basically, I'm just going to go through and fill all these in. Let's see, bottom left of the castle. I'm going to go through, and with the 64 signs that I crafted up, I'm going to put a note, essentially, inside every single square, which correlates to what part of the Link map, the Link to the Past, it translates to. And then when we come through and want to actually begin building, which probably, let's be honest, it'll probably be the beginning of next episode. We'll probably start doing actual building here instead of mapping everything out. We can literally pick any square, look at the description, and I can bring up the map that correlates with this chunk, and we can basically just build it as block for block as we possibly can. So I'm going to do that right now, but before we go do that, I did notice a few clips ago that somebody left us something over here, a chest that I didn't... Ow, oh, oops, I knocked the stick out. Of course I knocked the stick out. A chest here that I didn't put here. Look here, bear. Ooh, oxy daisies. Yes, the oxeye daisies. That's exactly what we need. Look at these. Without even reading the book, we'll read the book in a second. This is the exact flower, I swear. This is the exact flower that is used in the Link map. Look at this. Oh, they're so perfect for the Link to the Past map. And these things come up in shapes. Like sometimes you'll see them in like a triangle, like an arrow shape. So just having these, we can actually put these in the correct position in the map, and we can have ourselves exactly what appears in the map. I'm so excited for these. What does the book say? Alright, let's grab this book real quick. What is this? Hello, bear. So I was thinking I could give you some of the hundreds of daisies now, and would make you realize how badly you want me to be my partner. How badly you want to be my partner. Aha, see words. Bears don't read. Bears don't read. For the up-and-coming flower shop, you'd have first dibs on and the daisies. First dibs on the daisies. I'm guessing on the daisies. Free of charge, of course. Okay. I like the sounds of that. Also, if you don't want to, you can just make the flowers anyway. Hugs from Mila. I'm not entirely sure what she's asking me, but by the sounds of partner, I'm guessing she wants me to help her build the flower machine, because we've been talking about it, how one would go about building a flower producing machine, and I have a couple of ideas. So we're gonna have to respond to this, aren't we? Yeah, I think we're gonna have to respond to this. And respond to this we will. From my understanding, and of course asking in the Discord, oops, Mila lives here at Mount Flotron, so she's one of the peeps. Oh look, we got some friends up there waiting for us. We got some peeps actually still living here, several of them in fact. So I'm going to just come up here and So there's still food in here, so I'm gonna leave that alone. So I'm gonna put another chest down right here. We'll put a sign on it, and we'll you know, for Mila. And then inside of here, we're gonna put this book, Reply to Mila, which simply reads, "Dearest Mila, duh." And there's a page 2. Of course I'll partner with you, and together we will build the greatest, probably not greatest, flower farm of all time. All time here means on the server at the moment. Warm regards. I'm not a bear. I'm a polar bear. And I think that'll get the point across. So hopefully we'll hear back from Mila pretty soon, and maybe we can get building in on a flower farm even as soon as next episode. So we will see. Hopefully we can get Mila to join us, and we can get her in one of these episodes building with us. That'll be pretty fun. But for now, the episode is running long at this point, and we need to run back to the Link to the Past map world that we're building, because there's a couple of tiny little addendums we need to make to the place, and I need to tell you guys about. Alright, making our way back here real quick. You can see I've gone ahead and I've mapped out all of the stuff. Technically this isn't a swamp, and it doesn't turn into a swamp. Technically the desert turns into the swamp, so slight little clarification. I wasn't sure what to call this place, but it appears as a 2x2 area if you're counting the 32x32 sections as a one block space. Kind of, yeah, so that makes sense. But it's got the puddle of waters, and then I believe it's in this one. There's actually the wait, that's bottom left. It's actually in this one, but the bottom right's over there. This one has the like aqueduct thing where you go inside of it and you pull the lever and it makes the water drain, and then there's that fish out here and you can throw the fish in the water up here, and then he gives you money. Like that's what I'm clarifying as the swamp, this place. But every single 32x32 section has all of their signs in, with little, some of them are just kind of like points of interest, because otherwise there's like really nothing else here to define them. I believe one of them is simply just like, yeah, this one for example is we're in the forest meadow, and this is where you also get the flute from. So if I'm confused by what forest meadow happens to be, maybe you guys are confused by what forest meadow is, because it's not actually called the forest meadow. I added the flute thing. That should be enough for most people to be like, oh, okay, the flute. I know exactly where we're at. But in the top left-hand corner, the very far top left-hand corner, is the forest, the Lost Woods. That's it, the Lost Woods. And there is another section of the map that is not actually a part of the 8x8, and that is where you actually go forward another block, and you actually get the sword, the Master Sword. So there's actually one more little chunk thing that needs to come out right here. I keep calling it chunks, though technically a 32x32 is 4 chunks, so try not to confuse you guys with Minecraft versus these things chunks. But there would be one more Legend of Zelda chunk where you get the Master Sword from. And then way over here on the opposite end, it's going to be a little bit more tricky, and I'm not sure how we're going to resolve it, but it will also include making more of these Zelda chunks. So this particular Zelda chunk contains the top of Death Mountain, where that temple is located, or where you get the special power medallion. So just for everyone else's clarification, but it's also the first chunk of a 64x64, which is a 2x2 chunk area. So there'll be one more chunk there, one in that corner, and one right there, where you get the Zora flippers. It's actually called Zora's Realm. So this is interesting in that this chunk is one of the 4 chunks for the Zora's Realm, but it's also the same chunk that has the Death Mountain temple location. And based on looking at the Zelda Realm map, there's no hint whatsoever that you are in a mountain or under a mountain or anything like that. So we're gonna have to do slight little changes with that. And this little area, we're probably gonna end up having Death Mountain like come up. So let's face it on a little bit better. We'll probably have Death Mountain like coming up right here and just like inching over until it can like you know, grab all of the area to build up top, up there where the Death Mountain will be, but also leaving enough space down here where we will be in shadow for this one particular Zelda chunk, but we can actually still fit all of the Zora's Realm in here. I currently think that's how we're going to have to do it. The other option, of course, would be to just do a normal Death Mountain, no overhang, and have the waterway. We'd essentially be inventing a waterway, just a pathway that goes through the mountain, and then we could essentially have it wrap over right here, like very briefly just have it wrap over, and then we could do a Zelda chunk here, and then one on the far side, and basically do the 2x2 starting in this chunk area. So let me know in the comments down below which of the two you guys think would end up looking better or possibly be easier. One actually literally does involve us creating a very short little entranceway. The problem though is that we'd have to cut straight through because the entrance to the Zora's Realm is in fact right here. It starts at the bottom of the chunk, and so coming in from the side wouldn't line up, wouldn't make any sense, unless of course we built the whole thing sideways to the rest of the map, in which case you could have the bottom come up here, and then that'd be the top part, and then that'd be the other top part, and then this would be the part right next to you. Like, it's strange. But guys, that is going to be it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope this Zelda thing is making sense to you. I'll take off my helmet and stuff. But it's gonna be it. Be sure to leave comments down in the description down below. Leave a like if you like. Subscribe if you haven't. Share with your friends. Hit that notification bell. And I will see you guys in the
Oh hey, it worked. Is anyone there? Someone? Anyone? Hello? Can one of you fairies tell the white floof I'm trapped in this collapsing world? I can't believe he forgot me.